Just how long do you expect this journey to take?
I reckon it shouldn't be more than 8 or 9 days, weather permitting. Anything else?
Regarding your first rule, what if we have an emergency?
Then tell me. Just don't bother me with small talk. I need to concentrate on driving. Anything else?
You said you're a tracker? What's that mean exactly?
It means I'm good at finding things. One of you gets lost, or we're hunting our supper and need to trail an animal, I can do that.
So, like a bloodhound?
No, like a tracker. Compare me to a dog again, and you're finding yourself another ride. Understand?
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to offend.
Folk rarely do. Anything else?
We understand. You'll have no trouble from us.
All right then. Let's get a move on. Time's wasting.
We are off, with the first faint tendrils of dawn at our backs. We head west for El Presidio on the trail of the elusive Dr. Clark. We have but a few days' travel before us, through the desert and mountains to reach the coast. I am rather looking forward to getting a better view of this part of the country. And should the scenery lack for diversion, I suppose I'll have recourse in the fellowship of my new traveling companions. Now that we've assembled in this unlikely venture, perhaps it's time we got to better know one another.
Feels good to be underway at last.
Yes, though I must admit I tend to become restless on long trips.
Well, we got cards, books, and conversation. Plenty of ways to pass the time.
Phil?
Señorita?
Will this be your first time visiting El Presidio?
It will. I have heard many tales of this so-called Mouth of the West. I am curious to find out which ones are true.
You're very polite, Phil, but please, call me Harley.
What is wrong with Señorita?
It's not my name.
Ah, but it is a sign of respect. I would never dream of addressing a new Spanish lady by her given name.
Well, things are different here.
As I am learning. If you wish it, it will be so.
Appreciate it. We'll talk more later.
I look forward to it.
Lola must be a reader. Always nice to have some books around. I don't think I've read most of these. None are in the red, so I guess that's good. None are in the red, so I guess that's good. That's what keeps this heap going. Makes it pretty hot in here, too. We're set for fuel for a good while. In case we need to dig ourselves out of trouble. Jake's luggage. I could put everything I own in that suitcase and it would hardly cover the bottom. Hey, Nadine.
Hello, Harley.
Ever visited El Presidio before?
I've never been beyond this valley.
You'll be all right. We've got a good group, and we'll look out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate your kind words.
So how'd you become a healer? Did you go to school?
No. I mean, I attended the missionary school for a few years as a child, but not to learn medicine. I was taught by Dr. Sedgwick. I worked as his apprentice for nearly a decade. He was a wonderful guardian and mentor. I am grateful for all his care.
You said Doc Sedgwick was your guardian? What about your parents?
I never knew my mother. She died soon after I was born. My father worked for Dr. Sedgwick, which is how I came to his household. He took me in when my father died from an infected wound.
I'm so sorry. How old were you?
I don't remember exactly, but I couldn't have been more than 5.
Did that have anything to do with you choosing to learn medicine?
I suppose so. Yes. If I can save somebody's loved one, grant them extra time to cherish together, well, there's no better way to help people, is there?
When did you return to the Otham?
I went to them in April of last year, but it wasn't a return. They took me in. People were leaving town, and there was less need for me at the clinic. It was Dr. Sedgwick who encouraged me to find my own path. The Otham were kind to accept me as a guest, but truthfully, I'm glad for this opportunity to travel with you and the others.
You said the Otham took you in. They aren't your people?
No. I don't know who my people are. My father never told Dr. Sedgwick, and I have no memories of him talking about it. I think my parents came from somewhere to the east, but I'm not even sure of that.
Have you ever tried tracking down where you came from?
No, I've considered it, but it's complicated. Perhaps someday.
Hey, I see something up ahead, by the side of the road. Looks like some kind of castle?
Wagon's slowing down.
Guess it caught Lola's eye, too. Let's have a look.
Now that is some truly impressive architecture.
Do you think so? Truly? That it does impress?
Is this your work?
I am indeed visionary, architect, and soul laborer. My name is Vilja Circus. What you see before you is a monument to love.
How do you mean?
This is my marriage proposal to my darling Martha. Every stone you see has been placed by my hand with utmost care. Soon it shall be completed, and my castle will have its queen.
Damn, feller. You're making the rest of us menfolk look bad.
I'm going into town to pick up a few things. I'll see y'all back on the wagon.
I'll come with you.
Not sure what's in them, but they look heavy. Suppose it gets the job done, eventually. I can't even begin to imagine how many stones it took to build that thing. Pardon me, Mr. Circus?
Yes, ma'am?
There's plenty of ways to profess your love. Why a castle?
I am architect and engineer by trade. Building things is what I know. And my beloved Martha always loved castles. I thought this would be fitting. She will be so surprised when she sees it. I cannot wait to see her face.
I want to hear more about this Martha. How did you meet her?
Her father was chairman of rail company where I worked in Brampton. He introduced us.
And you started courting?
For a time, yes. Then my work brought me to Western Vespuccia, but we have corresponded. I send letter every month.
Hang on. When was the last time you saw Martha?
Just before I came here, 7 years.
Is it your intention to actually live in this place?
Of course.
Wouldn't it help to have some doors?
All in due time. My dear Martha has delicate constitution. Desert heat will be good for her health.
Does she have problems with her breathing?
Yes, I believe so. Often when I would visit, her housemaid would say she was too ill to see anyone.
Now, I've heard that one before.
You said you built this all by yourself? How'd you manage that?
As I said, I am engineer by trade. There are plenty of stones all around. I simply gather and place them.
Just how long have you been at this, anyway?
7 years.
Caramba.
Great work takes time.
You're telling me you haven't seen Martha in 7 years, and you've built her this castle hoping she'll marry you? What if she says no?
She will not refuse me. Not when she sees what I can give her. But perhaps you will see for yourself. I sent her telegram to invite her here, and she sent a response. Today she will be here.
You've an interesting accent. Where do you come from?
I am from Lithuania. I came to Vespuccia to work on railroad and build bridges.
And how has this country treated you, compadre?
Very well. I have had many opportunities. The money I earned allowed me to build my dream.
I'll just be off for now. Thanks for the talk.
Goodbye.
You know, I can't help but remember the time I made a grand declaration of love. Wasn't quite this elaborate, but it came close.
I'll bet. You spare no expense when it comes to pageantry.
Certain things that need saying deserve to be said in a big way. Leastways, that's my thinking.
I really do admire this gentleman's dedication. It's rare to find someone so committed to anything.
Committed? Obsessed, I'd say.
Is it obsession to want to finish what you start? To build a home, to enjoy?
This is something else. This guy's a special shade of lunatic.
I have a nagging feeling that things will not end well for poor Mr. Circus.
Madre mia. Never before have I seen such a romantic gesture. This Martha is a lucky woman.
Maybe.
If someone did such a thing for you, what would your response be?
Gratitude, I suppose? Awe? I don't know.
For such devotion to go unacknowledged would truly be a crime.
This fellow's been busy. No doubt about that.
Harley, does it seem to you that something is not quite right about Mr. Circus' story?
I had that thought, yes.
I have a suspicion that the lady over there might have some clarification to offer.
Last point in. Doesn't inspire much confidence, does it? Guess nobody wrote in today. Ma'am?
Yes?
Your name wouldn't happen to be Martha, would it?
Why, yes it is. Martha Ward. Do I know you?
No, but I've heard lots about you. Mr. Villia Circus told me all about you. I believe you know him?
Only too well, I'm afraid. I just want this unfortunate business concluded so I can go home to my husband.
Wait, you're married?
Quite happily, 6 years last June.
Santa Maria.
Does Mr. Circus know that?
No. That's why I'm here.
How did you and Mr. Circus meet?
He worked for my father's company. We were introduced at a Yuletide soiree. He was pleasant enough, but then he began calling on me at home. I didn't wish to encourage him, but he kept pursuing me anyway.
Did you ever actually tell Mr. Circus you weren't interested?
I gave him no favorable sign. Eventually, I stopped receiving him with my father's blessing. He imagined a better match for me than some associate engineer. Thankfully, Mr. Circus was reassigned to Western Vespuccia after a few months.
Is your husband aware that you've come here?
Oh, heavens, no, he'd be furious. I left him a note saying I was going to visit my sister. Naturally, he has no idea a circus even exists, but he's very protective.
Mr. Circus told me you've been corresponding all this time.
Is that what he said?
He claims to have sent you a letter every month.
And they've each gone straight into the fire. I would have thought he'd get the message after years with no reply. But he's left me no choice except to come here and spell it out for him.
Is the desert heat making you feel better?
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Circus said it might help your delicate constitution.
Yes, I suppose he would think that. You see, when I didn't wish to receive him, I would instruct my staff to make excuses. Say I wasn't feeling well or away taking the water somewhere. It wasn't entirely forthright of me, I admit, but Circus was vexatiously persistent.
Enjoy your day, ma'am.
You as well. And if you see Mr. Circus again, please don't tell him I'm staying here. I'll go and speak with him when I'm ready.
Too bad we haven't got more time to spare. I could use a wash.
I cannot believe that fool spent all his time chasing a married woman. Has he no shame?
Just goes to show what one man can accomplish if he puts his mind to it. Damn impressive.
Pardon me, Mr. Circus?
Yes, ma'am?
Mr. Circus, there's something you should know about Martha.
What? What is it?
Well, it turns out she's married. Has been for 6 years.
What? How do you know this? Did you meet her?
Yes. She said she would come speak to you when she was ready.
Ah, this explains everything. When I did not hear from her, I blamed this country's ineffectual postal service. But clearly this brute has kept her from writing. Or even hidden my letters from her.
No, you don't understand.
Oh, I understand. I understand very well. She would not have agreed to come if she did not want to escape unhappy marriage.
Ah, right. I'll just be off for now. Thanks for the talk.
Goodbye.
I have a nagging feeling that things will not end well for poor Mr. Circus.
Believe that fool spent all his time chasing a married woman. Has he no shame?
Ma'am?
Yes?
Mr. Circus seems convinced you're going to leave your husband for him.
And I'm sure Mr. Circus also believes pigs can fly.
How will you deal with him? He clearly won't take no for an answer.
I'll find a way. I'll just...
Martha!
Bronson, what are you doing here?
I'd ask you the same. Why did you lie to me?
Oh, Bronson, I didn't want to, but I had no choice. Things are just so complicated.
What in the ether does that mean? And who are these people?
Mr. Ward, I presume? We're just passing through, but we'd like to help your wife.
What are you talking about?
Please, Bronson, I can explain everything.
Damn fine idea. Start by telling me what you're really doing here.
I came to deal with some personal business.
Personal business? What personal business could you have?
There's a reason it's personal. You don't need to know everything about your wife.
Like hell I don't. What business is this of yours, anyway?
Perhaps you should just tell him, Senora.
I have an unwanted suitor. I've come here to tell him to leave me alone once and for all.
You what? Where is he? I'll kill him.
No, you will not.
I will so. Tell me where to find the bastard.
Hey now, get that bee out of your bonnet.
I've had it up to here with your cheek. I don't need your help. I'll find him myself.
Bronson, come back here this instant. I can't believe you. You've no idea what my husband is capable of.
I do not think that went very well.
Scoundrel! Ruffian! I'll teach you to lust after another man's wife!
Ah, so you are the swine keeping Martha prisoner.
Why, you foreign bastard!
Whoa, easy, feller.
Bronson, have you gone mad?
You have until the count of 10 to get out of my sight and out of our lives forever. Otherwise, I'll make sure you won't bother us again. 1, 2.
Don't listen to him, Mr. Circus. He's bluffing. I bet he's never fired a gun in his life.
Stay out of this, you!
His hand does seem a mite shaky now you mention it.
Shut up! This is my business.
Bronson, put that gun away and stop acting like a fool.
I'm doing this for you, my sweet.
But I asked you not to, Sugar Plum.
You do well to listen to your wife, Mr. Ward.
This is, after all, her business, and not yours.
I'm her husband. Of course it's my business.
Enough of this drama. Fish or cut bait?
Gladly.
Bronson!
I'm afraid he's beyond my help.
Goddamn. Just like that, huh?
I'm sorry, my dear. It had to be done. Martha! Martha! Come back!
Such a waste. What were you thinking, Harley? Goading him on like that?
I didn't think he'd actually do it.
Mr. Circus learned a hard lesson about honor. A pity Mr. Ward did not have the consideration to challenge him to a proper gentleman's duel.
What's going on here?
A regrettable tragedy.
I don't want to know. Come on, we've wasted enough time.
Hey, Jake?
Yeah, Harley?
Looks like we have some time on our hands. How about a story?
Sure, why not? It was 1842, and I'd been hired by the sheriff of Bleachbone Gulch to track down some cattle rustlers. It was a long and winding trail, but by following the signs, I finally tracked down the stolen herd and the rustlers' camp. So I went back to town and gathered up a posse, 4 able-bodied men plus myself. That night, we went back under the cover of darkness. We had the element of surprise, but we were outnumbered 3-1. Before I knew it, the shooting had started. It was a long and bloody gunfight. In the end, yours truly was the last man left standing. I drove that whole herd on by my lonesome. They were all back home by dawn, with not a head missing. Lost some good fellers that night. But that was the end of cattle rustling in Bleachbone Gulch.
Hell of a story.
Now there's plenty more where that came from.
Did your travels ever take you to El Presidio?
A few times. Can't say I much care for it. But that city's for you. Too crowded, too impersonal. I'll take the wide open countryside any day.
I appreciate the chat.
Anytime, Harley.
A deck of cards helps pass the time. How about a few hands of poker, boys?
Sounds good to me. What do you think, Danny boy?
I don't have anything to bet with.
We don't need to play for money. Only our honor at stake. What could be more valuable, huh?
Let's do it then. Hell of a game, boys.
We're slowing down again.
Good. I could use a change of environment. Harley, could I have a word outside?
Sure.
Sun's getting low. Time to set up camp.
Harley and I'll be back shortly. Just gonna take a walk over to that little town. Danny and the others can aid in the preparations.
You better not be skipping out every time there's work to be done, you hear?
Shall we?
Lead on.
Would you look at that spring? I ain't seen water that clear since that time I went swimming with the Prime Minister's rambunctious niece.
So, you wanted to talk to me about something?
I did. I can tell you've got a cogitating mind, always assessing the situation, finding the risks and opportunities. Now that we've got a real posse assembled, I'm keen to hear your thoughts on our little venture. Everything seem hunky-dory so far, in your estimation?
Yes, I think so. It's an odd bunch, all right, but all capable in their own way. If a treasure's out there to be found, I think this gang can do it.
Delighted to hear it. You let me know if that changes, all right?
You got it.
Right, well, we should be heading back. L. Smith Johnson.
Oh, hey there.
Howdy, friend.
Welcome, welcome. Name's Aubrey Trout. You're not here about me. I reckon you're here for the spring water.
Something special about it?
Something special about it? This here's an etheric spring. Best kept secret in the Great Western Desert.
Etheric spring?
Sure. Y'all know about ethericity, don't you?
We're familiar.
Well, this water's got the same properties due to a confluence of etherically sensitive minerals deep in the earth, you see. This here's a hotbed. Taking a drink will cure whatever ails you and grant you the strength of 10 men.
No kidding.
If what you say is true, people would be lined up from here back to Rosewater. So where is everyone?
I told you, it's a secret. Oh, for now, once word gets out, I'll be up to my eyes in folks wanting a sip of the stuff. I can see by your face you're not convinced. Maybe this'll change your mind. Observe.
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
Daily sips of this water have conferred upon me a practically superhuman strength. Now, tell me, how old do you think I am?
I imagine a spry young feller like yourself can't be more than 25?
What if I told you I was 52?
Enough beating around the bush. What's your game? You trying to get us to pay you for this water? Or go in on some fool business venture to sell the stuff?
Man, I am wounded. Haven't tasted bliss. I just want to share it with my fellow man. Or is the spirit of generosity dead and buried? Okay, look, I'll take a drink now. Watch me. There, you see? Tastes like springtime and sunlight. Now, if the water was no good, would I have done that?
Reckon not.
So go on, friends. Share in the wealth. Take a sip.
If it does even half of what you say.